Good morning. Today we're going to talk about Power BI, as Jonathan mentioned. Power BI solution is basically a business analytics solution that lets you visualize your data and share insights across your organization or embed them in your app or website. You can connect hundreds of data sources and bring your data to life with live dashboards and reports. Today we'll review features that will help you start to discover the right BI solution for your business data. The world of data is changing. Some statistics show that there is a 10 times increase in data volume every 5 years, 85% of which is from new data types. And each adult now has an average of 4.3 connected devices, 27% of which are using social media input. And according to Gartner, organizations that build a modern information management system will outperform their peers financially by 20%. Today, only about 10% of organization business users can do business analytics, and that's a very low percentage. Over the last few years, Microsoft has dramatically reshaped the way we think about business intelligence, and many areas that used to require significant investments in hardware, skilled resources, and development effort have now been democratized and enabled for a self-service use case, and in many cases no longer require an expensive appliance, as comparable levels of performance can now be achieved with commodity hardware. In order to fully leverage this change in technology, however, organizations must realize that architectural patterns and best practices that have been developed over the last 30 years are no longer applicable. Everyone should have easy access to data, and they need to make informed decisions. And the challenge is that accessing and analyzing data can be a very daunting task. Questions like, where does the data live? How do I access it and get it into the right format so that I can actually analyze it? To solve this problem, we need to make data of all types actually, much easier to find, access, analyze, and share. And that's the focus of the Power BI solution. Power BI solution allows you to create reports and live dashboards that connect to wherever your data lives and visualize it in many ways and collaborate and share your insights inside and outside your organization. You can embed reports and dashboards in your apps and websites as well. You can also integrate with other tools, including Microsoft Excel and Office 365, so you can get up to speed quickly and work seamlessly with your existing solutions. You can also take action with seamless access to insights from your desk or while on the go with Power BI apps built by Microsoft partners, and your own organization. There are several components to the BI solution. Power BI Desktop is a complete data analysis and report creation tool. When you install the free application on your computer, you can connect to many different sources of data, combine them into a data model, and this is called modeling. And the Power BI service is a cloud-based online service for light reporting and editing and collaboration for teams and corporations. You can connect to data sources in the Power BI service as well, but modeling is actually limited. Power BI Mobile provides a secure access to live Power BI dashboards and reports on any device with the native mobile BI apps for Windows, iOS, and Android. And Power BI Embedded is you can actually embed interactive Power BI visuals in your applications, websites, or portals to bring world-class analytics directly to your customers. And then there's Power BI Report Server. It's an on-premise report server with a web portal in which you display and manage reports and KPIs. Along with it comes tools to create Power BI reports, paginated reports, mobile reports, and KPIs. The users can access the reports in many different ways, viewing them in a web browser or mobile device or an email in their inbox. The Power BI Report Server is actually very similar to SQL Server's reporting services and the Power BI online service, but in different ways. Like the Power BI service, Power BI Report Server hosts Power BI reports, or PBX files and Excel files. like reporting services, Power BI Report Server is on-premise and hosts paginated reports. Power BI Report Server is a superset of the reporting services. And everything you can do in the reporting services, you can also do in Power BI Report Server, along with the support for Power BI Reports. Power BI Report Server is available through 2 different licenses: the premium license for Power BI or SQL Server Enterprise Edition with software assurance. With a Power BI premium license, you can create a hybrid deployment mixing cloud and on-premise. So when we look at this Venn diagram, comparing Power BI Desktop to the Power BI service, the area in the middle would show how the 2 overlap. Some tasks you can do in either Power BI Desktop or the service. But on the 2 sides of the Venn diagram, the application and the service each have unique features. Most report designers who work on business intelligence projects use Power BI Desktop to create reports and then use the Power BI service to share their reports with others. So let's take a little bit deeper dive into Power BI Desktop. You can create rich, interactive reports with visual analytics at your fingertips, and again, it's free. You can download it from the Power BI website and run the install program on your desktop. Now, part of this is there's 3 views in the Power BI Desktop: report view, data view, and relationships view. Power BI Desktop also includes a query editor, which opens a separate window, and in the query editor you can build queries, transform your data, and then load that refined data model into your Power BI Desktop and create reports. So let's take a look at what it looks like. So here I have Power BI Desktop open. And you can see at the bottom that I have 3 dashboards that are built in this using a variety of different data sources. And one of these dashboards is actually built for a mobile environment versus a desktop environment. So we're going to take a look at the team scorecard, which focuses on the performance of 5 managers and their book of business. And let's take a look at one of the team members in detail on the team scorecard and see what insights can be gained. In the slicer on the left, select Andrew's name. So I've selected Andrew's name to filter the data, and you'll notice that all the charts have actually been changed based on the filter. If I choose somebody else, you'll notice that the charts change again. So let's go back to Andrew. So when I look at Andrew's revenue status, he's green and is performing well. The revenue variance to budget by month area chart shows that except for a dip in February, Andrew is doing pretty well overall. His dominant region's in the East, and he handles 49 customers in 5 out of 7 products, and his gross margin isn't the highest, nor is it the lowest. The revenue this year and the revenue variance percentage to budget by month shows a steady, even profit story. But when you filter by clicking on the square for Central in the region tree map, you'll notice that the charts change. And you'll discover that Andrew has revenue only in March and only in Indiana. So the question is this intentional, or is this something that needs to be looked into? So as you can see that these charts give you a fair amount of information, and they've been built so you can do a bit of slicing and dicing. You can do additional filtering by using the filters in the visualization pane. You can create new charts out of the data. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview. So right here under fields in the right-hand side, we have a number of sources of data. And those were all built with the queries. And you can see what data it actually consists of in each one. And in each query, you can also choose which fields you want to actually use. Well, and part of this too is in the modeling, we've created relationships between each of the data sources so that we know how the data actually links up to be able to present the information in an intelligent way. So there's one other feature that's very interesting too, is we can actually ask a question. So up in the top, there's an icon that says ask a question, and using just natural language querying, we can query our charts and our data to see some information. So I'm going to type in total revenue by industry for Valerie. And as you can see, I'm getting a lot of tooltips in correcting some of my wording. And you'll notice that the charts and filtering are changing. So now we have the visualizations that I've updated based on what I typed in, and now I can dig into even deeper by using the filters. So that's Power BI Desktop. So let's take a look at Excel. Since a lot of people use Excel to do analytics, it's a comfortable, familiar tool for lots. Starting in Excel 2013, self-service BI features were added to Excel. The features package the data discovery, analysis, and visualization process into one self-service BI solution, which is pretty essential for business users who are looking to get bigger returns on their data. So there's a couple of key pieces to that. There's Power Query, which allows you to discover and connect to data from public and corporate data sources. And there's a lot of different data connectors available for that. Power Pivot, which you can create sophisticated data models that, form your data in Excel. Power View, you can create visual reports and analytic views through interactive charts and graphs, and those essentially help you explore and present your data in all sorts of different ways. And then there's Power Map, where you can plot geographic and temporal data using Bing maps and analysis that map the data into a three-dimensional environment and create interactive tours to share with others. Power Query enables information workers with familiar, intuitive experience for finding and connecting to data from within Excel, providing them with an ease of combining and transforming this data so that it can be analyzed and visualized for deeper insight. Power Query also supports a wide variety of data sources as well as data search capabilities that provide users with a search experience for data returning relevant data sets from across the enterprise and from external sources. So we have a little bit of a visual for Power Pivot, which allows Excel users to create sophisticated models with data in Excel by creating relationships, creating custom measures and calculations, hierarchies, and KPIs. Power Pivot models process data in memory so that users can analyze hundreds of millions of rows of data with lightning performance. And Power Pivot also compresses that data to reduce the file sizes. Now, Power Pivot availability will also depend on what your current version of the Office products are. We have quick analysis that provides immediate views of various visualization options and reduces the time to add them to your data. Chart recommendations use intelligent heuristics to suggested charts. And the charting functionality provides live preview, richer data labels, and an easier way to access those chart elements, apply styles, and filter data directly from the reports. And Power View brings beautiful interactivity to the visualizations and more fluid exploration capabilities. So increasingly, we have access to geospatial data and recently introduced Power Maps. Well, Microsoft recently introduced Power Maps to bring 3D visualization tools for mapping and exploring and interacting with the geographic and temporal data. This enables people to explore and share new insights such as trends and patterns and outliers in their data over time. And in addition, users can easily capture and distribute their insights in the form of an interactive movie telling compelling stories about their data. And an interesting little note, the inspiration for PowerMap came from Microsoft's Research Worldwide Telescope project, which launched in 2008. And it uses astronomy data and the astronomy community to visualize imagery and data, essentially giving astronomers an observatory in the PC. So what's next? The importance of data visualization is on the rise. Deeper interactivity that blend analysis and visualizations even more fluidly, newer types of visualizations that enable you to see deeper insights more easily, richer experiences on the devices customers use most, and a great storytelling experience are just a few of the areas that are being invested in, and the few of the areas that have a lot of rich features in today. So let's take a look at Power BI mobile app. It's been around for a couple of years. It was introduced when Reporting Services 2016 was launched. It allows you to view personalized dashboards and reports on your devices, connected or not, anywhere you are. You can interact with your data through a touch-optimized experience. And the Power BI app runs in native Windows, iOS, and Android apps. So here's just a couple of screenshots of some of the different dashboards and objects. And these were screenshots taken from my actual cell phone, which is an iPhone. And you can see that in some of the, you can see charts. There, you certainly have a bit of a visual real estate issue when you're looking at a phone. So you have to be very intelligent about how you create dashboards for a phone versus a larger size tablet, but all of them have a touch experience. So looking at this coatings and inks chart, I actually had touched the coatings and ink, and it highlighted a little dialogue to tell me a little more details about the year-to-date sales as well as the year-to-date budget. So this is just another number of visuals. So you have charts, you have KPIs, and you have tables that you can sort and click on. You can then create drill-throughs to other dashboards or data. So it's a fairly large variety of visualizations that are available for you. And then one last thing we're going to talk about is Power BI tiles. A tile is essentially a snapshot of your data. It's pinned to a dashboard, and a tile can be created from a report, dataset, dashboard, the Q&A box, Excel, SQL Server reporting services reports, and a lot more. This screenshot shows many different tiles pinned to a dashboard. And dashboards and dashboard tiles are a feature of Power BI service, not the Power BI desktop. You can't create dashboards on mobile devices, but you can view and share them. To create the dashboards on mobile devices, there's actually a mobile dashboard designer application that's also provided, or you can use Power BI desktop. So dashboards and dashboard tiles are essentially a feature of the Power BI service, not the Power BI desktop. You can create dashboards and create mobile devices, but you can view and share them there as well. Besides pinning, you can create standalone tiles directly on your dashboard using the Add Tile. Standalone tiles include text boxes, images, videos, streaming data, and web content. So as you can see, that we've gone through a number of different features for Power BI. and there's quite a lot, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. But in essence, the direction really for doing the rich visualizations is to use Power BI Desktop when you're looking at creating very rich visualizations and dashboards. And for creating paginated reports, you would use Report Builder or Visual Studio for reporting services, or Power BI Reporting Server. And then there's creating just, ad hoc little dashboards. You can also use the mobile Power BI Dashboard Builder. And then using the service for the Power BI is essentially you publish up and share and collaborate into the cloud, and there are a number of membership options that are available out there for you.
Well, thanks everyone. This concludes our today's webinar. If you have any question, please post your question to our chat, and we make sure that get all answered. One of the questions we have here is what level of technical skills is required to use Power BI effectively?
So there's varying levels of skills. Essentially, though, is depending on where your data is coming from. You really want to have somebody who can understand data and be able to write a query against a database if it's more complicated data. But if the data is coming from Excel, it really is just an Excel user who can analyze the data and be able to load that into Power BI Desktop, or be able to do any of the analytics within Excel. To publish them, collaborate, and share up into the cloud is not a deeply technical exercise. It's more the designer and querying that you want somebody who really understands how to create charts and be able to view and slice and dice data and understand how it connects together.
We also had a question about the workshop and courses. I posted on the chat. There are many videos and training provided by Microsoft, and also LinkedIn, which is now as Microsoft company. So I provided one of the links on the chat. But you need any additional information, please feel free to reach us, and we get back to you with more detail. Any other question before we conclude our today's webinar? Well, thanks very much again for attending today's webinar. Solution for Success Education Series are running every third Tuesday of each month, and you can find our next upcoming events on the pointalliance.com/events, and we hope to see you next month. You have a wonderful day.